KRockFootball.com.au. The Coaches Catch-Up series continues at VFL level tonight. We're at Avalon Airport Oval, the home of the Werribee Tigers, and lucky enough to be joined by their new coach, John Lamont. John, thanks for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Congratulations on the appointment at VFL level. Of course, you're a grade here. You played in the 93 flag, and I suppose memories of that came flooding back last year with the 20th reunion. And did that reignite your passion for the club? I know you were tied up at North Melbourne, but you think, gee, I would love to be part of this again?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed Werribee Footy Club as a player. Had a great couple of years. Lucky, I see myself as the luckiest player to play in that premiership side, and lucky I've been at North Melbourne for the last 7 years, and 3 of those intimately involved with Werribee, so every game of the last 3 years. So, yeah, I'm excited to be to have the responsibility to coach. What is a young. In our 50th year, what is a young club, but I think it's a great club, so I'm really excited about it.
Of course, as you said, tied up at North Melbourne, and obviously the 3 years where you've been heavily involved with Werribee as part of the Kangaroos partial alignment. Does that give you a good foundation coming in to have a bit of knowledge about the boys you're going to coach?
I think so, and the North Melbourne coaching staff and the philosophy and the things that they're trying to achieve, because part of the Werribee brief is we want to develop our own list, win games, play finals football, but as well, part of our brief is to develop the players on the North Melbourne list. So I've got a good understanding of that. So I think that, I can hit the ground running, and I've already got strong working relationships with the coaching staff there. So I think it stands me and my role and our footy club in good stead.
3 consecutive preliminary finals. How do you take the next step and make sure that you're playing the following week?
Yeah, and it's 4 preliminary finals in 6 years. So got a strong record. So I'm under a bit of pressure. I just think I'm focusing at the minute just on environment, making sure, building on the strong environment that that Simon Atkins, Paul Satterley and Scott West have built. So I'm trying to build on that. Strong environment, win enough games, and then get into a final, absorb the pressure and win successive finals, and try and get to at least that preliminary final again, because as we know, the preliminary, if you can get to that round, it's a long way away, but if you can get to the preliminary final, then you're one of 4 teams, and if you can win that, then you're in the big one, and who knows what happens. So, yeah, but at the minute, in early January, we're just concentrating on really good environment for our players, and then hopefully, a bit of a cliche, all the other things will look after themselves after that.
You're not trying to reinvent the wheel, obviously, but you'll have your own spin on how you want Werribee to play football. What sort of style do we expect to see?
Well, we'll build on the North Melbourne game plan, we'll aim to be as competitive as we possibly can. We want to be a good tackling team, and we want to move the ball quickly. We want to play an attractive brand of footy. We'll keep it simple. Won't try and overpossess, but we'll keep things nice and simple. Make sure that footy's changed in a lot of ways, but one area that hasn't changed is contested ball. Teams that win that contested ball give yourself first opportunity to take the ball into your forward line. So we'll focus on that, and we're really working on being as team orientated as we possibly can. And again, like every coach you speak to is going to talk about that. But we're making a real emphasis. Players have responded to it so far, and we'll just keep building on that.
There's obviously changes to the list. Some names have gone. Obviously, Benny Ross being drafted to Hawthorn means you won't see him. But thankfully, Ben Brown and Luke McDonald being drafted means they're still Werribee players when North Melbourne don't need them. But there have been other departures, but other additions as well. Yeah,
it's interesting. We've added to our club, but I want to start with the likes of Jackson Davis and Jai Bolton, players that are going into their 3rd and 4th year. We need to make strong VFL players out of them. Jai Bolton played in the finals last year, kicked 5 in the prelim, but didn't play a lot of senior footy over the course of the year. We need to make a better player out of him. And so I think we've got those core blokes that have been smashing away in the development squad, so we need to build on those. A young boy, Sam Zumbo, a Greenvale premiership player last year, had a year in the development squad, a lovely left foot neat kick. So we want to make sure that we're providing development opportunities for those sorts of boys. Boys like Harry King and Jason Robinson out of the Western Jets, first year in. And then we've got the likes of the recruited Trent Shinners from Essendon VFL as a key defender. Jesse Crichton off the Fremantle list, bolster our back half and run. And then blokes like Joby Harper from Tassie and Brodie Myercheck from Tassie via Maribyrnong Park that are keen to get somewhere in their footy. So we've definitely gone young. We haven't chased too many experienced players. We think our experience and leadership will get us, each week we'll get a strong group from North Melbourne. We'll complement them with our existing list, and we'd like to think that we just added a little bit of what we need, the key defender in Shinners and run and carry distributor of the ball in Crichton. And young Harper, I think, can make a difference for us through the midfield with his running capacity. So I'd like to think that we've got a good mix of a nice blend, but real emphasis on youth and bringing through young players from Falcons region and our local region.
Geelong has provided you with much of your coaching staff from the Geelong region. A couple that have been in the system in the GFL, of course, Peter Riccardi and Jacob Spalding, and also Ben Patrick, who's been heavily tied up with the successful GFL Interleague campaign. So it's a real breeding ground for coaches at the moment, Geelong.
It was a real priority to me to bolster that Geelong end of our region with a coaching group that could support the players down there, and absolutely wrapped with the three men that you've named. Got good experience, enthusiastic, already sort of weighed in, they've coached their own teams, and they can, connect with the Geelong Falcons as well. And already, we had a camp pre-Christmas down at Port Arlington, and we're looking to have a game at Colac, having another camp in Torquay. So K-Rock listeners should hopefully get right on board the Werribee bandwagon and get down for a few games, because we really want to maximise our opportunities down in the Geelong region. It's such a strong footy area. It's our feeder, and we want to really connect Werribee, that whole region. So, no, it's great to have those coaches on board. They've already doing a great job.
Do you need to look to Geelong a little bit more as well now, obviously, with Williamstown going alone and Footscray, with the Bulldogs entering Footscray as a VFL side, and all of a sudden the western suburbs become a little bit tighter for finding players? Without
a doubt, we are in a difficult recruiting triangle, I suppose, between the lure of Geelong VFL as well, which, for Geelong players wanting to go there, and what you mentioned with Williamstown and the Bulldogs, new setups. So, it's more competitive. So, if we can maximise our opportunities and the opportunities for players and coaches from that Geelong region, I think it'll augur well for our future.
You've got to make a decision this year on a new captain after, of course, the great Robbie Costello gave it away at the end of last year. Who's in the mix? Who's put their hand up, or are you keeping that tight-lipped at this stage?
Well, we've got, Ben Warren, who's obviously played a bit of AFL footy, he's been here for a few years, and Adam Marrick, Ben Spate, who's another recruit off the North Melbourne list. Trent Shinners has previously captained the Bendigo Bombers. So we think we've got a nice mix of blokes like Jared Mather and Sam Wormold providing really good leadership on the track. So, I'm not sure yet, but we'll probably, we'll rotate through the practice match phase, share the load, and we'll just see what comes out of it at the end of that. So there's no probably front runner at the minute. I'm just really keen to share the load amongst, half a dozen. Jake Wilson's another one, played good football for us last year, played state footy, sees himself, wants to be a leader, so he's another one in the mix. So I think we've got a good developing group in that area.
Box Hill, round one, get to watch them unfurl the flag after they bundled you out in the preliminary final, and then Bendigo, round two, so they give you the top and they give you the bottom to start off the VFL.
Be a good way to start 2 wins, wouldn't it? Knock the Premier off at their deck and then under lights here to clean bin to go up. But yeah, we have a look at them in a practice match. Benny Ross, so we'll play against him. So it's a tough start with the reigning premier, but it's a tough competition. So we've got to play them sometime. So yeah, let's head over to Box Hill round 1 and jump in hard and see how we go. I'm looking forward to it.
It's about 10 weeks away, but does it seem like light years away, or does it seem really close and there's so much to do in that time?
It goes remarkably quickly. Like, we're approaching the end of our second week after pre-season. We say it's all downhill from now. You say 10 weeks and you think you've got a bit of time, but yeah, it'll go incredibly quickly. So hopefully I'm sure we'll be organised well enough for it. We've got 4 practice matches this year. Historically, over the last few years, we've only had 3, but I wanted the 4th. So we played 2, then we've got a week off, play another 2, and then into round 1. So I think our preparation, on top of another camp, I think we'll be spot on. We'll be cherry ripe for it, as they say.
Fantastic, John. Congratulations on the appointment again. It's great to have you on board with Werribee. We look forward to a fruitful relationship between yourself and K-Rock and wish you all the best for this year.
Thanks, Kingy. Thanks for your time.
John Lamont there, krockfootball.com.au.